The Moxie Cinema is bringing you a brand new slate of movies each month, and with me now from the Moxie is Mike Stevens. Mike, always good to see you. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm in the holiday spirits these days, despite my...
Hey, that's okay. We'll take it. We've got enough red around us to make up for it. So you got a lot of great films coming this month, especially with the end of the year and awards season on the horizon. So the first one up is Ferrari. Tell me about this one.
Very excited about this movie. Opens on Christmas Day, the 25th. Adam Driver stars in it. It is the return to screen by director Michael Mann, who you know from Heat, Thief. His last movie was 2015, so he had struggles getting out Heat 2. That didn't work, so he turned it into a novel. This is a biopic about Enzo Ferrari, portrayed by Adam Driver. Penelope Cruz is his wife in this movie. So it is set in 1957, in the summer of 1957, when things are falling apart for Ferrari, Enzo, and his company's about to go bankrupt. He puts together an elaborate, treacherous race. So on top of this kind of layered biopic is incredibly intense driving scenes and the kind of drama of that. So it's a combination of like intense, thrilling car chases and driving and a kind of complex portrait of a man.
Okay. How do you feel like this compares to the film from a few years ago, Ford vs. Ferrari, that also did very well?
It's compared very favorably. The actual shots of the racing are compared very favorably. And I found those shots very intense and thrilling. So that is another great director. So I think it's being compared very favorably and getting some Oscar love already.
Okay, so people should definitely check it out. Now this next one is Poor Things, and I actually just learned about this film last night, so tell people about this one.
So I love this director. He is not for everybody. Yorgos Lanthimos, he's a Greek director. His last movie was The Favorite, and he also did The Lobster. Two very strange movies, but The Favorite got some mainstream success. So now he is working on a kind of grand scale. He has a budget, very ambitious, strange movie. Emma Stone stars as a Frankenstein-like creature in this. She's a young woman brought back to life by mad scientists, but she liberates herself from Willem Dafoe, who is the scientist in this, and traipses away with a debauched lawyer played by Mark Ruffalo, kind of out of character for him. And it is getting so much Oscar buzz. It's not going to be for everybody. There's some strange stuff in it, but it looks bold, brilliant, and bedazzling.
I genuinely had no idea about this film, and then I was recently, Variety just released other actors on actors videos, and Mark Ruffalo and Robert Downey do one, and Mark Ruffalo talks about the film, and I was like, I didn't even know he had one coming out, but it definitely looks so interesting. For people that maybe wouldn't typically see a film like this, why would you encourage them to maybe check it out?
I think too, it's just fun for me anyway, having somebody working on a big scale but pushing boundaries of what they think they've seen before, or especially on film, kind of whether it's a shocking scene or just brilliant cinematography in a kind of shocking new way.
Yeah.
He does it all. He's really, really working at the top of his game, and people are saying it's his best film. He's got about 6 films now, I think, and so it's his best film.
All right, people need to check it out. Now, last up, Eileen.
Yes, this is a noir. It is set in 1960s Boston, and it follows kind of this young woman, looks like she has a dreary life ahead of her, working at a prison, and suddenly a psychiatrist, another young woman comes to the prison, and intoxicating figure that really wraps her up and becomes her savior to this kind of bleak life ahead. But also entangles her in a crime. So this is one of those kind of sultry noirs where these two are in a relationship, and it's really kind of, in that way, it's an inversion of a lot of noir norms. It's but it is very much, just a thrilling, kind of strange mystery that I'm looking forward to seeing. And it starts this Friday.
Okay, and this is an older film or a new film?
This is a brand new film coming out.
Okay.
Yeah, and it stars Anne Hathaway, and she's getting a ton of Oscar attention for this.
Okay.
She is the sexy psychiatrist.
I kind of love everything that she does, so that is enticing. Okay, now you guys have your 2024 Essential Series coming up, so what can you tease for me as far as that goes?
So these are free for members, and these are movies that we think are just some of the most important films ever made, and we start off with a big one, Fellini's La Dolce Vita. This was the film that really made him an international success, and ironically, it's about the culture of stardom and a very scathing critique of it. And, just a gorgeous film, very smart, very funny, and that kicks it off. But we have a ton of different movies, from Pygmalion, which is set in made in the 30s, to Whit Stillman's Metropolitan, to a Czech film called Daisies, just all over the map. We'll be playing them every month, one a month, all year 2024.
Yeah, and people should definitely go and check these out because it's a great way to kind of expand your knowledge on films and just maybe some films that you wouldn't normally see. Now, last up, you've mentioned this a few times, but the buzzword today is Oscars. So what are you like kind of projecting maybe will do well, or maybe we'll get a lot of nominations in this upcoming Oscar awards season?
Earlier, all we were talking about was Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to come back. I think we'll obviously see a ton of nominations for those. But I'm kind of looking at it now and seeing it's going to be a little artier Oscars than I anticipated, especially with Poor Things. I think Poor Things is going to come very close to Barbie level numbers for the total nominations. And so that's, for an art house movie theater, that's exciting. Those are the kind of movies we love to play because they're not playing usually in bigger theaters. And so it should be an interesting time.
Yeah. Well, you know, I love award season because once it starts rolling around, you kind of see the same people start to win. And so it kind of becomes a trend. And typically the Oscars kind of follows in trend as well. So I'm excited to see how this goes. Mike, if people want more information from everything that's happening over at the Moxie, how can they get that?
MoxieCinema.com is always the best way to find out more information.
All right, Mike, thank you so much for being here. We always appreciate it. For all of our viewers, go and check out a film you would not normally see over at the Moxie Cinema.